Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my co-host, Stephanie, Blue, and True Dancona. What's up, Bo?
Woo! What's going on? I'm wearing sunglasses. Sunglasses at night. So I can. I decided that today was going to be summer in my house because it's raining outside. With the time change, it's not even sunny anytime that you're able to go outside. So what I did was I put my sunglasses on, I put my romper on, and I even lit a candle, which is called DK's Banana Country, fresh banana, palm leaves, island fruits. And it is by a company called 2 Day Rental. And it is actually my brother's best friend. All of his candles and other things are all video game themed. And as far as I know, all of them smell fantastic.
That is amazing. I didn't realize that
What's that? What are you doing with your hands? I'm looking at me.
I'm talking. I talk with my hands. Anyway, I didn't realize in the infancy of our podcast, we would have rival candle companies that are looking to get a little shout out because we had.
I know.
That's kind of weird, right? I mean, we will take any sponsor we can get. I totally didn't even
put two and two together.
I'm just saying, we'll take any sponsor.
This is me doing it on my own.
Oh, but you're still giving a shout out here. So
I'm going to give them a shout out and let them know.
Definitely. Peoples, we will take any sponsorship we can get. But right now, it sounds like we have two candles that are competing right now, but yours smell amazing. And I know my girl Beatrix and company also smells amazing. So
Beatrix.
Great things.
All right. Maybe we're going to be a candle podcast. Maybe that's what the universe is saying is make a podcast strictly upon candles. Listen, it is candle season. Everybody's going to be giving each other candles at Christmas. And guess what also has a bunch of candles? You may have heard of it.
Hanukkah?
It's called menorah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going there.
Imagine I didn't.
What do you think? What do you think a candle podcast would sound like?
It would probably be like little old ladies, and they would buy Yankee candles from the Yankee candle store, but they would buy them only on sale, and they would coupon clip, and then they would go in with like 17 coupons and get a candle for like 40 cents. And it doesn't really sound like an interesting podcast unless they had like really interesting smells. Like we found a candle that smells like, and I can't think of it because it probably exists.
I wouldn't hate either candle company or any candle company to make a smell called Booze Your Daddy. It has to be a lime green color, but make it smell lime like whatever color. You want. Yeah, I'm all in.
It's got to be a little bit sassy. And you kind of hate it, but also love it at the same time. The thing where you're like, I don't like that smell. And 30 seconds later, you're like, oh, I do like that smell.
Oh, so kind of like you mean the way people love you and then they hate me. So that's the...
No, like sometimes they're like, those guys are awesome. And then sometimes we're like, enough with them. We're good with them for the night.
Put a lid on it. Kill the oxygen.
Go. Everybody else stay. Two of you leave. We're good. So that's what's going on over in Casa Dancona. Summer. And football's on later, and football doesn't happen in summer, but I'm going to pretend it does.
Yeah, well, you know what's going over in Chateau de Snyder is...
Chateau de Snyder.
Movember is rolling on, and I got my mustache shirt on today.
I was wondering what that was. Oh, it's a Burt Reynolds a little bit.
Oh, it's a bunch of people wearing mustaches and me sporting mine, and it's only getting better and better as November rolls on, which is a reminder to everybody out there, get your butthole checked just to make sure your prostate's okay.
Have somebody else that's a professional check your butthole.
I wasn't saying I was going to do it.
I did it.
No, I'm not doing it. I don't think
you
do it yourself.
No, I didn't mean have you do it. I just mean like everyone shouldn't do their own. Be like, yeah, I put my finger in my behind. I'm fine. That doesn't work. Like I can't give myself a mammogram as much as I want to. I can't.
All right, Steph. What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking. I I'm drinking another collective one, like two places put beers together, like when you did like boys. What's that called?
Collaboration.
Beer. Collaboration. That's the beer. I know it had C and 2 L's. Another collaboration from the same place that you bought boys. So Braven Brewery Company. Braven Brewing Company. It is called Bushwick Pilsner. I'm on a Pilsner kick lately. And it is bold and crafty. And it's got eagle with horns on the other side. So right away, I know it's going to be good. And the funny thing is I was going through Instagram and, they give you, depending on what pages you like, we have a lot of beer pages we follow because we tag a lot of people in our whatever we're drinking. And this one randomly, I had this in my fridge for like 3 weeks waiting to be drunk on the show. It showed up randomly in my feed yesterday, like suggested post. And it was just this. And I was like, the universe, we've talked about it before. The universe is listening. That proves it. So that's what I'm drinking. Shout out to Breven. Shout out to Bushwick. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, make some noise.
Woo! Hey, Brooklyn, it's your birthday.
That was my
All
impersonation.
right, what you got over there? What you drinking? What you drinking, handsome?
That was my impersonation of Ja Rule. We went to a bachelor party one time in Vegas, and somehow we got tickets to Light, the club at Caesars, and Ja Rule shows up, and he just yelled the whole time, New York, Brooklyn. It was hammered. It was great.
Yeah, that's what – yeah. Oh, that's awesome. No, I mean, that sounds normal. That's what I would do. What are you working with in terms of alcoholic beverages?
I went back to something that I've also had before, made by Bolero Snort Brewery. It is called One Hoof in Front of the Other. One hoof in front of the other. But the reason I got this was basically because of the can, which looks like it got into a paintball fight.
Love it. I did a painting that looks like that.
It is so freaking cool. It looks so amazing. Yeah. I think that, we talked about having a topic for today's show, and one hoof in front of the other is kind of like, well, put one foot in front of the other. As a physical therapist, I'm trying to get people to walk better. But also, paintball injuries are a thing. And I will tell you, as somebody who has been shot by a paintball gun while peeing off of a deck at a yeah, like we did like a fraternity getaway years ago, and 2 people showed up with their own paintball guns, even though we were going to do regular paintballing. And I was just like peeing or something, and somebody shot me from like 8 feet away. That freaking hurt.
Did it hit you in the head, the butt? It didn't hit you in the wiener, right?
My wiener's way too small to get from 8 feet away. You would have to be right on top of it to get it.
First of all, he could have been a very good paintball shooter.
No, to shoot somebody in the head that you're friends with from that close is kind of messed up.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible. Wait, you got shot in the face?
I got shot in the butt. I was peeing off of a deck, and the dude came up behind me. I was like, ka.
Oh. Did you have bruises on your butt the next day?
I had a couple of welts, and, I'm sure some of our friends listening right now is like, who would do that? Because the only 2 people that brought their own gear to this trip was my buddy Timmy, who would never do that, but also
Hit me.
Crazy Jack Carter is one of the craziest people I've ever met in my life, who was legit terrifying in college, like owned a snake and had a shotgun and was tatted up, and now is a yogi acrobat man in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh my God. My cousin lives in Jacksonville, so they're the only cool people that live in that place. So let's have them be friends. Yeah, that's a long way to go to end up being yogi. I know someone that did it, and it is a huge change to his life.
It was a 180 to say the least for this guy.
Listen, I think I'm going to become a yogi. And by yogi, I mean bear, because I like myself a picnic basket.
That was good. I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I. It just came up in my head. It's the sunglasses. All right, let's pop, tap, all these things. That one was very carbonated.
Yamas.
Props.
Have you been watching too much Survivor? It's not Probst like Jeff Probst. It's Prost.
Well, it's got to be in it, doesn't it?
I don't think so. It's Prost.
Also, I don't watch Survivor.
I know you're an amazing race person, but Jeff Probst is the guy from Survivor.
Is that not how it's spelled in Russia?
I think it's German.
Oh, German. Is it?
It's Prost.
All right. I'm going to look that up right now.
Okay.
I don't believe you.
Okay, good luck with that.
All right. I'm good luck with that. All right. I'm gonna do it later, and then I'm gonna let you know. And if not, I'm gonna make an entire embarrassing post about how you're
A jerk. Yeah.
You're a jerk.
All right. So
You're a jerk.
getting back to the theme of the episode, we wanted to talk today about some injuries. Now, I wish I had some really great stories, but I've only ever broken 2 bones in my life, and they were both while playing sports. 1, hockey, 2, football, right? Because I'm tough, and I used to tell people,
Because I'm tough.
I broke my thumb playing football, and they go, oh, well, your thumb, how did that happen? And that's when I have to admit, I was playing football in my room by myself, threw the ball up in the air, and went, Snyder in the end zone, and came down and snapped my thumb in half. And then I went to the doctor, and they put me in a cast. And I tell you what.
I've never heard a more Alan story than that right there.
It's not like the bone was coming through the skin, but it really hurt. And I got a cast, and a cast is a great pickup line. I mean, I tell you, I had girls all over the place in 6th grade who wanted to sign my cast.
Listen, I had my hand in a cast for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, like years ago. It was great. People were even girls giving up seats. Someone was like, "Do you want some candy? You look like you're in pain." And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" She gave me an entire bag of M&Ms.
Giving up seats for a hand cast?
Well, I had a gigantic thing and a whatever. It wasn't just this. It was all the way up to the elbow, and in a sling. You know what? You're that douche on the subway that doesn't give up his seat to anybody, right?
I do. I just never know if the girl is fat or pregnant, so I always feel weird.
Well, that's a problem, especially in the winter. You have no idea. So I don't ask if I can't. If I can't tell, I'll not ask. And I'm sorry, but I don't want. I had some guy say, "Do you want my seat?" And I was like, I don't know what that noise was. It wasn't a burp. And I was like, "No, I'm good." And then I looked down and I had this jacket, and it was like, it had buttons, but it somehow ended like there's only like 2 buttons like done in the middle. So it kind of like flared out a lot at the bottom. So it totally looked like, even though I wasn't heavy, it kind of looked, because of how it was flared, that I had a bump. And I got home and I was like, oh, that's why he offered me a seat. But anyways, okay. So you broke your finger playing football in your room. You got a ton of tail in 6th grade. That's
not so much tail. Another time that a cast comes in handy is, have you ever been at a bar and you see some dude with a cast start to mix it up with somebody, and you're thinking like, that dude is going to hit that guy over the freaking head, and it's going to be death right there. Like, a cast is a weapon. That's like earlier this season on SNL, that Bill Burr sketch with the pumpkin beer, he had a full cast, which he used to open the beer, but also when he was like rumbling with his son, I'm thinking like, man, he would kill that kid.
Dude, that was one of the best skits I've seen on SNL in years.
Best skeets. That's a Freudian slip.
I don't know what's happening. I haven't even drank yet. I had a half a beer. The best skeet. Windows to the wall. Okay, and you did not punch anybody in 6th grade, though, hopefully.
No. I remember I had the cast on, and then the hockey thing was at camp where we were playing hockey and a counselor ran into me. I fell backwards and went to brace myself and just broke my wrist and effectively ended my summer. But then that fall, I still signed up to play hockey, and I just cut, because it was not my top hand, it was my bottom hand on the stick. It was my right hand.
Oh.
So I just cut the glove, and that way I could still play fall hockey, and like nobody knew or cared.
This was at school?
Summer camp is when I broke it, but then fall hockey, when I got back, I still had the cast on, just playing in the league.
First of all, but it was a school league, or no, like a rec league?
A rec league.
Oh, they should not have allowed you to do that.
I didn't tell anybody. They don't know shit.
They didn't know you had a cast on your hand?
I was fantastic. Nobody cared. I was still better than everybody in that league.
Oh, Alan. Sounds about right. Yeah. Winning is better. So I like the name of your beer because one hoof in front of the other. I told a story like, I don't know, a couple months ago, and the story I'm going to tell you now is nothing should surprise you, Alan, anymore about what I do ever.
Nothing, ever.
Nothing. And it usually has to do with walking. I have equilibrium problems, but there's only so much you can rely on that. A lot of it is just like, whatever. I fell over a box during the night the other day. Why? Because I left an Amazon box in the middle of my fucking floor. And then I fell over, and I realized when you fall over when you're 35, it hurts a lot more than when you're like a kid and you're like, I'm good, I'm up, I'm ready. No.
Stephanie, kids could like fall down the freaking stairs when they're 10 years old. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I sneeze too hard. My elbow hurts for a month.
It's so true. It's so true. So I told the story about how that time that I slipped on a curb, and one of the lawyers at my law firm asked me like
Yes.
days later if it happened because I had leg braces on. I did not have leg braces. But this is a similar story where I could have gotten the same question. So when you go into the floor of my office, the actual office, not my mini one. So when you go in, we have a bunch of elevators, and on either side of the elevators are giant glass doors. One leads you to the north side of the building, one leads you to the south side of the building. Through those, there's giant glass conference rooms. So everything they kind of like, they do a very transparent, like they try to not do a closed door kind of a thing. So in those conference rooms, you can kind of see what happens in the elevator bank. So there, as you can imagine, a fully glassed, huge door, super heavy. Now, given this is when I used to actually wear heels, which you did not know me at the time where I wore heels.
Nope.
So I pulled on the door, and it was super heavy. So you had to kind of tug it with two hands. And what happened was my heel slipped from under me. So instead of letting go of the door and just falling out, no, I didn't eat it. I made the choice to hold the door on. No, I made the choice to hold on and swung it with the door, just like kept going. And I looked through the glass, and there was an entire conference room of partners staring at me because I was the girl holding onto the door as it swung. And I'd never been so embarrassed in my entire life. They all saw me. Nobody acknowledged it, but it is by far one of the most embarrassing things that has ever happened to me. And nobody saw it. So I can only like relay it to people, and my office mates and my coworkers all know that these are like normal things. But shortly after that, I stopped wearing heels because stuff kept happening when I wore heels. I fell down the subway steps before. And obviously the reaction to that is you fall down the subway steps and someone's like, oh my God. I literally told a person I meant to do that and continued on my way. I was so embarrassed that I just said that, and the person looked at me and just kept going. I was like, well, there we go. So I have a lot of those stories. I mean, I could fill like a 4-hour episode with them, but that one is one of my all-time favorite, more so because this happened in front of people that make millions and billions and bajillions of dollars a year. And I was like, here's the girl that makes $43,000 swinging on a door.
Yeah,
really
it gets
a good impression.
It's awkward in New York City because I'm remembering now taking a nasty spill. I have these big duck boots, my friends say, when they're for snow, basically, and they have the laces that you lace all the way up. And a lot of times I get real lazy with that. And what I'll do is I'll just take the laces and kind of jam them in the shoe and then step into the shoes. Just, it still works. And I definitely was walking down the street one time, and the lace starts to kind of creep out a little bit. And I remember my shoe got a little too close to the other one. The lace from the left shoe hooked on the latch thingy on the right, and it looked like, you remember those traps like in cartoons where it's a little bear trap and it goes like zoop, and the lasso and my feet go square together. I fall flat on my face, and the people walking in stride looked down and then kept going. Not even are you okay? Do you need help?
I never understand when people don't, like, it doesn't take much. Most likely the person's gonna be like, I'm good. Like, can you not be like at least a decent person and say like, you're not dead, right? Just want to make sure.
I fell down so hard, and I don't know, it was hurting more my hand or my ego. Like, it wasn't good.
How old were you? This is like adult New York City adult.
This is like maybe last year or the year before. Like this is kind of recent.
Yes. So I remembered a quick other one, which is with these same people at work. Some of the same partners. I was up at an event at Harvard, and they have a lot of really old cobblestone streets there. So we were going back from an event to the hotel, and there was also snow on the ground, and I was also still wearing heels. And a lot of these partners were exactly the same. So I'm being careful. My heel catches in one of the little grooves in between the cobblestones, and I kept going. And all of a sudden I look back, and I have a bare foot, and my heel is stuck between the cobblestones. And I was like, all these stories happen. I'd been there like less than a year. I'm like, they're going to be like, who the fuck did you hire? So one of the partners got my shoe and put it on my foot like Cinderella. I was so embarrassed.
That's really cute.
It was kind of adorable. He was a hottie too. He doesn't work there anymore, but I remember being like fanning myself.
I do declare, Your Honor.
I do declare my shoe is in the sidewalk. So I do not make a good impression at work, to say the least. I think I have like one or two coworkers that listen. They'll be able to back it up, but I could never actually have other people listen. But so those are a few of like my favorite injury stories. That's what I got.
Yeah, I had a patient last year who came in. She was probably in her early 80s, and her very first visit was so discombobulated, the way she was kind of talking and slurring her words. And she came in for a groin pull. And I think we've talked about this on the show, but just to get it out there, most people think groin is like your junk, but it's not. It's the
wiener.
It's not your wiener. They used to say that in like WWF growing up. It was like, oh, he kicked him in the groin. Your groin muscle is your adductor longus. It's basically the muscle from your crotch to the inner part of your thigh.
Yeah, so by your wiener. Yes, we talked about this. It was a funny episode whenever we talked about it.
And she comes in, and that's what her injury was. And she gets up on the table, and she's wearing shorts. And, of course, consummate professional, I roll her leg up, and I keep her covered. And she had a black and blue from her crotch all the way down. I mean, it was nasty. And, of course, I'm getting in there, and I'm working it out and just getting her
getting in there, working it good.
This is what I do. And
I know.
And, of course, I'm trying to figure out exactly, well, what happened. She tells me, like, well, I was doing something the other day and with my trainer, and then, you know what, I don't really want to get into it right now. And the truth is, she doesn't have to tell me how it happened. I just need to know what the injury is, what bothers her. So it was more of an objective evaluation than a subjective. Well, she comes in the next visit, and she's feeling a lot better, and she's totally normal this time. I mean, no slurring, no nothing. I was just like, oh, okay. Like, when we start to get to know each other a little bit more, and she now tells me more what happened, and she goes, so I feel more comfortable now kind of telling you that, like, actually maybe I shouldn't. And I'm like, listen, Miss Smith, if you want to tell me a story, great. If not, I don't need to know what happened. I'm going to get you better. That's what I do. And she goes, well, basically the other day with my boyfriend, he just got a little too rough for me.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
And I was like, okay. And then as I keep working with her, she keeps telling me, and then that's all she really said. A couple visits later, she says, yeah, I really need to tell him to stop throwing my leg over to the side, because that's how I originally hurt myself, and this and that. And she then starts telling me about where she's going with her friend that night, and they have the greatest martinis at this bar. And keep in mind, we're on the Upper West Side, so she starts naming, like, have you ever been to this place called Jake's Dilemma? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I looked it up. I might be meeting a friend there for a martini later. And I said, sweetheart, that is like a post-college bar to play beer pong. Walk across the street, go anywhere else than Jake's Dilemma.
Don't go there.
I'll
barely go there.
Right. She's naming all these places which are really funny. And then she goes, yeah, I don't know. My husband told me the other day about this and that. And I just quickly make a joke. And I said, wait a minute. You and your boyfriend got married? And she goes, what? I said, remember you told me the injury was your boyfriend? She goes, no, my boyfriend is for sex. My husband is who I live with. I was like, oh my God.
Wait, this is a true story?
Stephanie, you think I'd make any of this stuff up?
No, but I don't even know. I'm mad I didn't know this already. So wait, she's 80?
She was, I forget if she was no less than 75 and no more than 85. I mean, I want to say she was like 80, 81.
dude, she has the best life. She's married, and she's got a side piece who she's actually sleeping with, and she goes drinking whenever she wants.
That is not my definition of the best life. That is not what I want. And the weird thing is she then starts telling me how she's like, you know what? I actually need to go to the pharmacy because I've run out of my pain pills. And I've been, I didn't know you were taking pain pills because this is relevant for the treatment. And she goes, yeah, like, I think our first visit was the last time I even had one of those muscle relaxers. I was like, that explained why she was so loopy the first time I saw her. Yeah.
This woman sounds amazing, and she sounds like I want her to be my life coach. You can't tell me that does not sound like a good life for when you're elderly.
Absolutely not. Being married and openly cheating on no, absolutely not.
I mean, you're taking this a little too seriously. Do I seem like someone that would cheat on somebody?
Not on me ever.
Stop it. You know I'd never do that. I'm just saying, like, it gives promise to, like, being older could be fun. I don't want to sleep with a husband and a side piece at 85. I'm done by that point.
I don't think she's sleeping with her husband. I think that's the issue.
I don't know. Maybe that's why she's in so much pain. She's getting it too much. Also, this guy is throwing her around. Like, wonder how old he is.
I think she said she was robbing the cradle because he was somewhere in his late 60s, which, like, that's also pretty weird. I had a guy I also was working with who was in his early 80s and was dating up a storm on Match.com. And he just said, Alan, these women are so horny. They just haven't gotten it in so long, and they see me and they know, because when it comes to the age thing, when a 70-year-old guy is trying to date a 50-year-old and they can't find anybody their own age. So my guy says, I am just cleaning up these days. It only got weird when he came in one time and told me about the best date he ever had with one of the most beautiful women. And he even does I got to show you a picture.
Yes.
He shows me her, like, Match.com profile picture.
Yeah.
It was somebody's grandmother. Okay. This lady was like red hair, late 60s, and he goes, check out this dime piece. And I'm like, dude, she is so old.
Oh, I thought you were going to be, like, really surprised that you were like, oh man, I want to get that.
Well, to him, she had to have been 15 to 20 years younger. To me.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, for him, he was like, look how young she is. And I'm thinking, like, dude, she looks like she's going to die. I don't know which one of you are dying first.
That's why they're just sleeping together, so they don't have to commit to anything and split their wills.
If I was her, I would be very terrified that one day this guy's going to be on top of me. And then one day, like, when he finally finishes, he is finished. And you're just like, yo, hey, buddy. Hey.
That's it's happened before. I mean, I don't know people, but I see it on shows and on SNL and all the things. So I'm sure it's happened to people. You don't want to get into that. But I will say, they really do. Your patients sound amazing, especially the elderly ones. So how do I hang out with more elderly people?
Be a physical therapist.
I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to touch people. Maybe I'll just go volunteer and visit senior citizens.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, tell me all your bad stories first, and I'll sneak you pills and beer. How about that?
I'll sneak you pills and beer. That's good.
All right. What do you think about doing some trivia, or did you have something else that you were
Let's roll.
chomping at the bit? All right, let's roll. No paper and pen. This one's straightforward.
Do it.
So I did this one because I saw a commercial the other day for Olive Garden, which I know that you love. It's not Olive Garden themed, but it gave me the idea. So we have been to Olive Garden. I miss it every day. I've never met someone so obsessed with any chain restaurant.
That I go to like twice a year. People think I go there all the time.
I know. I said obsessed with. I didn't say go to every single day.
Okay. I love it, but I go there twice a year. All right.
Yes, you go there twice a year. So they were talking about what's the thing? The unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks are unlimited.
Mm-hmm. Act like you don't know. Okay.
I couldn't remember if soup was part of it.
Yes.
Also, who wants unlimited like breadsticks and salad? I who is like, I can't wait to eat 4 bowls of soup. You know what? Well, who's ever wanted that much soup? I mean, I love it, but like one bowl is good. So they were talking about like, their iconic like soup, salad, breadstick, unlimited, whatever. And then it got me thinking about like other chain restaurants that had like these iconic foods that you basically say the food and you know what restaurant's from. So I'm basically going to name the dish and you're going to tell me what restaurant it's from. I am 99.9% sure you know all of these. I tried to pick ones that were a little bit easier. And all of these menu items you should as well also in addition know.
Okay.
Are you ready? All right. Blue and onion.
That's all Outback.
There we go.
Boom.
Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Red Lobster.
There we go. Grand Slam breakfast.
Denny's.
Oh man, I wasn't sure if you were gonna get that one so much. This next one's like really too easy, but I put it in because I didn't think you were gonna get Grand Slam. $5 footlong.
$5. $5.
$5 footlong. And you got
Any. I was doing it with my hands. Do you know that they did like a study? They started going around measuring at Subway, and most of the footlongs were like 10 inches.
Really? I knew that, like, I read something that they were like off by like an inch or something. I didn't know that much.
Right. Well, that's what I say to people. I say I'm 5'10" and I got a 7-inch wiener, so I'm off by an inch or 3, you know?
There you go. A little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so wait, now you're 4 of 4 so far. So I'm going to give you the last one, which was one of my faves growing up. Conehead Sundae. Conehead Sundae. As you can imagine, it's a sundae, and they use an ice cream cone to make it a little hot. And then they use, I believe, Reese's Pieces for the eyeballs and the nose.
It's Friendly's or Baskin Robbins, and Friendly's is a happy ending. So I'll go Baskin Robbins.
Oh, Friendly's!
No, a happy ending is that. Come on.
It's called a Conehead Sundae. I made sure I looked it up.
All right.
Sure, there's maybe a happy ending.
There's definitely a happy ending at Friendly's.
Definitely at Friendly's. All those 80-year-olds. You should tell your patients to go there. They could probably pull tail Friendly's early bird special. You got way more of those. You what?
Yeah, I've been to a Friendly's in the last couple of years. It's fantastic. It's like
so good.
So good. Because there you go there and get like the regular shitty bar food that you'll get anywhere else. But then there's great ice cream at the end.
Yes, there's great ice cream. And I grew up by one. And it was like a treat. Like we didn't go all the time. Like maybe like twice a year. And like when I got older and had a car, I'd be like cool and come home with like a Friendly's milkshake. Like that meant anything. Like I'd finally peaked where I could buy my own Friendly's milkshake. So I peaked there, and since then my life's been shit. Well, you did a lot better than I thought you would, but it's also because you're super smart. So I don't know why I doubted you. And now all I want is Cheddar Bay biscuits because they're the best things in the world.
They're pretty great.
So congratulations on knowing your chain restaurants.
Thanks, Boo.
I know they're no Olive Garden, but you can't always have your way.
Wait, where is that? You have it your way is that Burger King or McDonald's?
Burger King.
Oh, Burger King. Okay.
See what I did there? I
did.
In a slogan a little bit.
Cool. No,
cool.
Cool. That's good.
Cool.
All right, peoples. Thanks for listening to the episode. Booze Your Daddy every Wednesday, every Saturday. Make sure you download the episodes. Tell a friend. Give us a good rating. Daddy loves you.
Boo loves you.
We out.
And we out.